Shalom, giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Reka Kodash. Double honors are going out to the venerable apostles of the great millstone, along with the bishops and elders who rule well. And I want to say salutations, peace, and blessings to the Ba'ath Shah Dawadah, that is the house of David, the elect. I'm Shamar Ahmath, back with another video. To edify and build up the lambs of Yahweh Basham Shai, Lord willing, Adawan Ratazat. You'll be edified through the Spirit. This is what the man you're looking at is Dr. Michael Brown. And, you know, the elder Malcolm was always going into that word, you know, doctor, how that word doctor means to falsify. So I don't know why he would want to, why any man would want to be called doctor. But anyway, his name is Dr. Michael Brown, esteemed Christian theologian. Yeah, right. Ask Dr. Brown's channel. And he's just the latest victim, man. He's stepped into the ring with the heavyweights, you know, the apostles and elders of the great millstone, and he's taken a beating through the Spirit lately. You know, just been getting drugged, you know. And it's all, you know, never anything personal against any of these guys. You know, we get on false prophets. You know, we get on Jake. If Jake's a false prophet, you know, we get on Esau, because this guy's a false prophet of Esau, Edom. And a matter of fact, he's of the mount of Esau, because this dude is Amalek. He's so-called Jewish. Okay, and he's, you know, and he's desperately trying to you know, wiggle himself and his kinsmen into the prophecies, but it don't work, man. You just don't fit the prophecies. You know, all the prophets testify that when the children, for example, and this is what the video is going to be about, all the prophets agree. All right, when the rightful owners of that land, all right, who are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners, all right? We teach Israelite foreigners that our people are going to look like the nations. So some of our people look like this guy. Anyway, when the real Israelites are returned to that land, Lord willing, we're going to be returned to that land. We're going to make it out of here on the first go around and be delivered. We need deliverance, man. We got to get out of here, because it's, you know, we all need mercy and grace, man. We and salvation, man. We got to get the fuck out of here. But it says in the prophecies that when the rightful owners of the land are returned, that nobody's gonna make them afraid. All right. Now, lately in the news, you've been you know, hearing about the so-called Israeli state taking hits. You know, taking Syria launching missiles into Israel, Lebanon launching missiles into Israel. You know, they've always been beefing with the Palestinians, so-called Palestinians, because they don't belong there. And the Palestinians don't belong there either, so-called Palestinians. They don't belong there either, but, you know, I think every Israeli citizen at a certain age is required to carry a firearm. I believe that's law. I could be wrong. You can fact check that. You know, every time those alarms go off, they running into their bomb shelters. They're even over there getting the serpent sauce, scared of this scamdemic, man. Scared of the flu. But you are the people of the Lord, though. What you need missile defense for? What you need an army for? And you know, I was listening to the elder Karatazah out in Vegas the other day, and he was going in on how, you know, why are these nations still going to war? Because the prophecy says in Isaiah the 2nd chapter that, again, once the kingdom of heaven is established, there ain't going to be no more war. Okay? The weaponry, all that weaponry is going to be destroyed. It talks about that in Ezekiel's 39, the 39th chapter. You know, and again, it talks about how the nations ain't going to be learning war no more, Isaiah the 2nd chapter. All right? But again, the purpose of this video, hey, this is a question for you, Dr. Brown. You say, ask Dr. Brown. All right, this is a question. I'm asking Dr. Brown. I'm going to ask Dr. Brown a question. If you're the real Israelites, if they're the real Israelites, okay, the so-called Jewish people, they're the real Israelites, why is there so much fear in that land right now? That just don't line up with prophecy. Remember Johnny Cochran years ago? Remember him? If it don't fit, you must have quit. I think Johnny Cochran passed away several years ago. He was wicked as hell. He got his consolation on this side, but yeah, if it don't, don't fit, you must have quit. These people don't fit the prophecies, and the only ones who don't seem to get it, because the whole earth knows that these people are frauds. They don't belong there. The only ones who do are you low-level peasant so-called white people over here. You so-called white Christians, you Edomite Christians. You the only ones that haven't gotten the memo yet that they ain't the Lord's people. They the biggest, they the most perverted of all of Esau. Okay? They the most profane ones. Anyway. So let's see what the prophets have to say. And like I said, Lord willing, you'll be edified through the power of Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Jeremiah. We always go into Jeremiah 30, and read verse 7, talking about Jacob's trouble. But I'm going to start in verse 10. Yeah, because that's what's coming. Jacob's trouble is coming. Anyway, World War III. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed, okay, showing you this is about a particular race of people on the earth, okay, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, primarily, from over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, but the elect is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, but this is the main place. The bulk of the deliverance will be out of this new Egypt we're in. Okay. And thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. You see that, Dr. Brown? None shall make him afraid. Again, why do your people run into bomb shelters every 5 minutes when those alarms go off? Why are they getting jabbed up so much over there? Why are they scared of the so-called Palestinians? Which a lot of these resistance groups over there, they're all a lot of them are proxies. Like Esau sets up proxies, okay, to come against the so-called Israelis so he can justify his wickedness, man. Like the PLO, Hamas, ISIS, of course, ISIL. Those are all proxies for Amalek. All right, not saying that there's not legitimate resistance over there. There's a lot of it. But a lot of the things you hear about in the news from these so-called terror cells and these terror groups, a lot of those are just proxy armies for Amalek. Anyway, none shall make them afraid. So once again, do you think in the kingdom of heaven, all right, Jake's gonna be, walking down the streets paved with gold, and then having to worry about some crazy ass Ishmaelite running up on him with a bomb strapped to his chest? Because Ishmael, so-called Arabs, they crazy as fuck, man. It tells you that in Genesis the 16th chapter. Ishmael's a wild. We ain't gonna be worrying about that. Worrying about catching the flu. Come on, man. This is easy work. Let's go on to the next one. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Ezekiel 34, because it's just so easy. But ain't nothing wrong with doing basic lessons, man. Ezekiel 34, and pick it up at the end of the chapter here. Ezekiel 34, and verse 27. And the tree of the field shall yield her fruit, and the earth shall yield her increase, and they shall be safe in their land. They shall be safe in their land. Okay, them Amalekites ain't safe over there. And you know what? There's some of our people are in the so-called Israeli state right now, and they don't need to be there because that place is getting ready to be flattened. Most High getting ready to flatten that state like a pancake. He gonna mash that thing into the ground, burn it. Okay, it's been trodden down to the Gentiles. All right, and the time of the Gentiles is about to be fulfilled. Hey, the Lord's gonna set that place on fire, man. Because that land has been thoroughly defiled. All right. Yeah, it says, and they shall be safe in their land, and shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, when I have broken the bands of their yoke and delivered them out of the hand of those that serve themselves of them. Right. Chiefly you Edomites, chiefly you Amalekites. Okay. It says, and they shall no more be, but they don't. Well, anyway, that's another topic for another lesson. Salakia, back to the scripture. Verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen, neither shall the beast of the land devour them, because the nations of the earth have devoured Jacob, man, you Israelites. Okay? They've made merchandise out of you. They've, gotten rich off your backs. Okay? They've devoured you, man. They stripped and robbed you of your heritage and your language, which ultimately the Lord said that was prophecy. He said Jacob going to be discontinued from his heritage. Well, that's another, cut that you ain't the people of the Lord, man. Because y'all claim that you always known you were Jewish. And you always known you were the Lord's people. Nah. It is Israel. Hey, we lost our heritage, man. And we had to come back to our nationality and reclaim it. Anyway, it says, but they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. Right. I'm going to keep going. And I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with hunger in the land, neither bear the shame of the heathen any more. Thus, verse 30, shall they know that I, the Lord Yahweh, power, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people. Okay? Yeah. Not you J-O-O-Z. You fake J-O-O-Z. Y'all are called bastards. Y'all are called the bastards who were dwelling in Ashdod. Zechariah 9 and 6. I always, bring that out. Y'all are frauds. It says, even the house of Israel are my people, saith the Lord Yahweh, power. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, verse 31, are men. All right, so it's about the men first and foremost. You women got to stop running your mouths, man, and stop teaching. I was watching some so-called prophetess earlier today. What was her name? Prophetess Angela. What was her name? Judite woman. Trying to teach the scriptures. Anyway, you women got to stop running your mouths, man, and trying to teach the scriptures, especially you got to stop teaching the scriptures and get in order, man. All right. And the elect women will. It says, but it starts with the men of the Lord, 144,000. All right. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord Yahweh, power. Right? No more fear. We ain't gonna be fearing again, Lord willing. We're part of that first trip. We make it, man. We prisoners hope, man. Prisoners of hope. We have a hope. We hoping to be saved and delivered out of here. That's why, brothers, that's why we talk about us being a hopeful elect. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to where are we going next? Let's go to Micah. So the Micah, it's got a couple more. Because all the prophets say the same thing. Micah's chapter 4. Okay. I'm going to read this whole chapter, but I'm going to get right to the point. It says, now let me start in verse 3. All right. Micah chapter 4 and verse 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. Okay, it says, and they shall beat their swords and the plowshares and their spears and the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay. It also talks about this again in Isaiah the 2nd chapter. See? So how, Dr. Brown, how can your people, how do you explain this? I mean, because clearly you can see World War III is getting ready to go. It's getting ready to go global, man. Right now it's just certain parts of the earth. There's fighting in the Ukraine. There's fighting in Syria, and the Israeli state, etc. But this thing is about to get, Babylon the Great sending nuclear submarines over to that area. The nations of the earth are getting ready to come into that area for the final showdown, man. Okay, so wait a minute. They're still learning war, right? They're still making weapons, building up their arsenals. Come on, man. It says, verse 4, and this is the point, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord Yahweh of hosts have spoken it. Okay, and right now we represent the mouth of the Lord. All right, the prophets. We're speaking this, all right, because the prophets are back in their lot. The true prophets are back in their lot, and the false prophets are back in their lot. Okay, you got the real men of the Lord. Again, the men of great millstone, the apostles, first and foremost, whether you like that or not, whether that makes you feel good or not, that's the truth. All right, and on down to brothers like myself who just are in the right spirit, preaching the correct doctrine, preaching it right. So yeah, man, Israelites, man, you imagine being afraid in the kingdom of heaven? Oh, hell, man, come on, man. These people are see how easy this is? This is real simple. So this should be an easy question for Dr. Brown. He ain't going to answer it. He not going to acknowledge my video. But, it ain't for him anyway. It's to point out his stupidity and to show how, but the people of this world that would look at this guy like he's some kind of an authority. They would look at me like I'm a nut job, a whack job. And that's how they look at the men of the Lord. We're the weird ones. This dude right here is weird as this guy. Can you imagine what he does when nobody's looking? This Dr. Brown character. Come on, man. Whew. Yeah. All right. Finishing it off with Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 3. And let's get right to the point. This is a good chapter, man. I mean, you know how it is, man. All the scriptures is good, but this is really a good chapter. Zephaniah chapter 3 and let's get right to the point, verse 13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. Okay, again, only the elect, only a third of Israel is going to make it out of this destruction that's coming. All right, it's starting at the top with the prophets of the Lord, the 144,000, and that remnant. The men, women, and children who believe what we're saying, man. All right, who are hearkening to the testimony of the prophets, listening and learning. Okay. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Again, can you imagine being in the kingdom of heaven, being in your kingdom, and being terrified of a of a suicide bomber? Come on, man. Verse 14, sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments. All right, Yahweh, all right, he hath cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, Yahweh, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore. Isn't this earth full of evil? Okay, are we not headed into the evil day? All right, Esau is getting ready to shut this thing down, man, getting ready to declare martial law. Yeah, man, it's nothing but evils in this earth. And it's waxing worse and worse, man. All right, it says, Verse 16, in that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Lord Yahweh power is in the midst of thee, is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. Okay? I mean, this is a good chapter, man. I'm gonna finish it off. I'm going to read it to the 20th verse to finish off this chapter. All right, verse 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, verse 19, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. And who's brought the most affliction to our people? Amalek. I mean, the nations, Psalm 83 tells you. All right, Amalek's at the top of that. All right, Amalek. Amalek controlled the transatlantic slave trade, for example. He was all in that. Who do you think owned the ships? Okay? There's in South Carolina, man, there's a lot of so-called Jews in Charleston. Charleston was a gigantic slave port. And to this day, they're thick down there in Charleston, man. Them issues, them small hats. So yeah, man. And all the nations afflicted the children of Israel. It says, I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Men of the Lord, if they can be famous, man. All right, of course, that starts at the top with Yahweh Shai. He's going to be the most famous. Salaki, I just dropped my sword. He's going to be the most famous. All right, King David, Malak Dawadah, the rest of the prophets. Going to be famous, man. Let's see. Verse 20, and I'll wrap it up. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord Yahweh. None of these prophets is talking about you issues, man. It's talking about you small hats. It's talking about the Israelites. All right? So your time's almost up. Keep coming back for more, whatever, man. You Christians are through. You Amalekites are through. Esau in general is through. America's through. All right. The 2/3 are through. You false prophets are through. All right. Lord willing, you believers, you sincere men, women, children out there listening and learn, Lord willing, you was edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shamar Ahmath. With that, I want to say shalom, and it's on to the next video.